You're listening to Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast.
Oh my God. Listen up, ragamuffins. We encourage each and every one of you to drink deeply from the cup that is Fair Riverdale.
Your hosts, Jordan, Cliff, and Seth.
Hobo. Bride of Hobo. Welcome to Thistle House. Shove it, Hal.
You know what that sound means. It's time for Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast Riverdale recap. Wait, what do we call this? Chapter review.
Chapter review.
Riverdale,
That's it.
Riverdale chapter review.
It's been a minute.
Welcome back. My name is Jordan Lowe.
Cliff Barnes.
Seth. Your friendly jug dub coming in here to narrate your episode of Riverdale. What chapter is this, Jordan?
This is season 6, episode 13, chapter 108, Ex Libris. That's Latin, guys.
I love Latin.
That's Latin. I looked it up. That means from the books of, basically. It was used as an inscription to show the name of a book's owner. So if you said, like, if you were lending a book to someone, inside you'd say Ex Libris Seth. So they'd know it was your book from the library.
I have book plates I put in some of my books.
There you go.
So it says from the horde of Seth. Okay, well, this is going to be a surprise to all of us because it's been a while since I watched this, but let's see what happened in Ex Libris.
He had left off with a pregnancy test. There was a big cliffhanger, right?
Shoot.
Yeah.
Talk about a bomb.
Yeah.
Betty and Archie lay in the bomb bed and talk about how it's good she's not pregnant. Start it right off. Because her parents were shitty and the Thunder and Baghead. Anyway, she's Black Betty, and that can't be good to pass that on. So,
I don't know. I think we would have gotten the hang of it together.
Are you disappointed?
Look, I know that timing is completely wrong, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit excited about the idea of starting a new life with you. Everything has been so dark. A baby would have been a light. My dad loved being a young dad. I mean, he talked about it all the time.
Your dad was the world's best father, no question.
Yeah.
It'll happen someday. Maybe the universe just wants us to stop the bad guys first.
But Archie was kind of bummed. He wanted a little baby Archie.
he wanted to be a junior, senior Archie.
Yeah.
He said, my dad, he loved being a young dad. I would have been a cool young dad.
Yeah. Which is so sad. But he says she thinks the universe just wants them to stop the bad guys first. So that's a good way to look at it. Let's stop all the bad guys before we go having little Archies.
Baby Archies.
Was that a thing?
You have to name all babies are definitely named baby whatever.
Baby.
Yeah.
I thought they were little.
Oh,
Weren't
that's
they
how
Archie?
this show
Little
better
or-
end.
yeah,
with
little
the spinoff of Little Archie.
Little
Yes.
Archies, yeah.
Veggie. Man, my notes are rough. So I don't even know what this says. But
For Veronica and Reggie, the new day dawned with bitterness and bile.
Don't forget this. You definitely won't be waking up here anymore.
So it's gonna be like that?
The more I think about what you said the other night, giving me ultimatums, the less well it sits with me. Especially since you stole from us.
somebody had a satellite casino. Did Reggie have a satellite casino?
Yeah.
Somebody
He was like skimming money from the main casino. He's like, I was going to give it to you. It was just a little prank.
For the record, Ronnie, I was going to share the income from the satellite casino.
Sure. You know, I've really been trying to see this whole thing from your point of view, but sadly, I can't seem to get my head that far up my ass.
So she tried to see his side, but she couldn't get her head far enough up her own ass to see it.
You know what? Good thing I'm getting out of this now. I wouldn't want to end up dead.
What is that supposed to mean?
First Chad, then Hiram. What was it they called you? The Black Widow of Wall Street.
Unless you're ready to hear the long list of names I'd like to call you right now, I'd quit while you're ahead.
Go for it. You've never spared my feelings before. Plus now you can hook up with Geraldo.
Oh my god, with who? Geraldo?
Oh, come on. I saw how you guys looked at each other. You'll text him soon as I leave.
You're flailing and it's pathetic.
Whatever. First it was Archie. Then it was me. Then it was Archie. Then it was Chad. Then it was Archie. And then you came back to me without a break. You can't be alone. It's not in your nature.
He calls her the Black Widow of Wall Street, which we remember that. Yeah.
How can we forget?
He says now you can. They broke up, so now you can hook up with Geraldo. Which I was like, Geraldo, he's like 80. Veronica's like, you're flailing. Oh my gosh, she's good. Like she has accepted who she, Cammy Mendes has really has that role down. It's like, you'll text him right away. First it was me. He really calls her out too. I thought this was good. It's like, first it was me, then Archie, then me, then Archie, then Chad, then me. You never take a break. You can't be alone. It's not in your nature. And she's like, maybe you're right. You're right. I was like, man, he's got your number. Get Jug dubbing in here. Says Tabitha is in Albany. We haven't seen her for a little while. Trying to get Pops. What's she trying to do in Albany? Anybody remember?
Yeah, him get it on the historic registry.
Historical landmark. That's right. Trying to make Pops a historical chocolate shop. And Percival Pickens is the Dale's self-appointed mayor, apparently. And he shows up at Jughead's apartment with Kevin, the cops, with shotguns out to announce that the library is going to be a hotel by the new What? Gotta get your shotguns out for that.
So yeah, this is that Seinfeld episode with the
Lieutenant Bookman. That's exactly right. That's what I have here. I said,
but even he didn't rack a shotgun when he was trying to intimidate Jerry.
Yeah, it's Riverdale, the town without a public library, and I have here in my notes. Maybe we can live without libraries, people like you and me. Sure, we're too old to change. What about that kid at the public library opened up a book to see pictures of pee-pees, wee-wees? I thought the exact same thing. I immediately pulled that up. Oh. Jughead is overdue for his copy of what, Jordan? Do you remember?
It was his Papaw's book.
No.
Senior.
The Metamorphosis.
What overdue? What book could he take out?
The overdue book. Yeah, Kafka's Metamorphosis.
Yeah, what the hell's that?
It's about a guy who wakes up one day and is turning into a cockroach.
Oh, that's right. I do vaguely remember something. Yeah. Good. He checked it out 10 years ago when he was homeless, and the late fees are in the thousands of dollars.
Guys, this is the whole episode. Is about overdue library books.
Right.
Strap in.
I love it to death, and I really I love when everybody they apply these ridiculous plots and then spend the episode calling them out. Like, how ridiculous. Jughead immediately. So if you're shutting the library down, what do you need this book for? Until he finds it, Percival is going to take the secret of the old mill or windmill or whatever as collateral. His grandpa.
So he has to either replace the original book or get the exact same version.
Yes.
Like you have to get the exact same. Again,
Right.
why? That doesn't make any sense.
Yes. He offers DeLillo's Underworld, but no. What's DeLillo's Underworld? What the hell's
I
that?
don't know that one. That's pretty obscure.
And when he does, this is the best part. He's like, what about DeLillo's Underworld? And one of the cops cocks his shotgun. Like, you don't even push it, buddy. Oh, amazing. Amazing.
A 1997 novel by American writer Don DeLillo.
Okay. Doesn't seem
centered on the efforts of Nick Shea, a waste management executive who grew up in the Bronx and encompasses numerous subplots drawn from American history in the second half of the 20th century. Shortlisted for the Pulitzer Prize. Okay, thanks, Jug. One for the Jugheads Reading Club.
Yeah. Which we should start when this. We should add that spinoff. Yeah, where we pursue every reference.
We got to watch all the movies they reference and read all the books they read.
Anyway, the cop racks his shotgun at the mere mention of offering some other book. At the Andrews house, Archie is overdue with songwriting from the heart.
See, at that point, when he goes to Archie, I'm like, Archie doesn't read. There's no way to trap him with an overdue book. It's like, oh, no, wait, a songwriting book. Maybe
That's right. Maybe. He borrowed it in high school. Miss Grundy recommended it.
Oh, man, Grundy reference.
So Pickens wants to take his guitar.
Oh, sure. I'll find a copy of the book for you.
Good man. Until then, I'll need some collateral. Something so I know you're taking me seriously. How about... Oh, that guitar. The one Miss Grundy taught you on feels appropriate, doesn't it?
If you touch one more thing in my house, I'll break both of your arms.
This little nugget says different.
That Miss Grundy taught him on his collateral, but Archie tells him if he touches one more thing, he'll break both his arms. Which is always the extreme.
Yeah.
Archie
says it's so straightforward.
I'll break both your arms if you touch it. Hey, not while I have this palladium. You won't do that at all, will you? Veronica had Kiss of the Spider Woman, which sounds right. And as collateral, he takes the Ram's portrait. She's like, big whoop. I don't want a freaking picture anyway.
She's like, you can take that thing.
Yeah. Cheryl had flowers in the attic. The old VC Andrews. He said, Percival says, by VC Andrews. And Cheryl says, yeah, I know who wrote it, you crumpet eating buffoon. Crumpet eating buffoon.
By VC Andrews.
Yeah, I know who wrote it, you crumpet eating buffoon.
She says she was with an old friend and they might have it. And he knows that old friend was named Heather.
Heather?
Oh, we love when Heather's mentioned. Her old sapphic friend. He takes the trunk as collateral. He takes the trunk with Jason's skeleton in it.
Doesn't even let her empty it first.
She says, you're playing with fire there.
That sounds
oh my gosh,
smelly.
Yeah, he says, well, I warn you, if I feel the least bit flush, the cops are going to shoot you in the head. So this is quite it really definitely gave you Seinfeld vibes. Like, this was the most hardcore librarian you've ever seen.
Yeah. Cheryl has the firepower now.
Yes, she's a pyrotechnic. Here we got the Thunder calls Betty in the FBI basement and says if she doesn't find her small engine repair book or an exact copy, she won't get her diary back, because that's what she gave the mayor when he stopped by. She gave her diary. What the hell is the matter with her? Oh, and by the way, she's cooking yummy beef stroganoff for dinner, which is a detail I love. At Mantle Motors, now there's no way Reggie would have a book either. Come on, unless it's hilarious pranks to dummies.
It'd be a joke book.
Yeah, hilarious pranks for dummies is what I was hoping the book would be. Instead, it was a workbook for dyslexic kids. Oh wow, tugging at the heartstrings here.
Which that's good, but it made me laugh that it was right in his top drawer. Like he knew exactly where it was.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, right here.
Yeah,
like,
I use this all the time. Still dyslexic. Yeah. He had it in his file cabinet, but Pickett said he'll have to pay the fine another day. Jughead calls a meeting at the school lounge, and the core four realize that they could possibly be jailed if they don't find their books, which is extreme. Veronica can't find hers. Jughead lent a bunch of books to Doc, his friend, on Sketch Alley.
Yep.
And they left. Yes, Cheryl appears and explains that if he knows what books we read, he knows what forged us, which I thought was really good. That's a very personal thing. If you know what somebody read, what is their go-to books, you know what they're made of.
That's a Grand Admiral Thrawn move right there.
Exactly. That is. It's all being tied together. If you know what, that is very
Grand
true.
Admiral Pickens.
Man. Wow. That's got me thinking here. Wonder now I'm gonna think Thrawn's a Dale fan. Like he would watch the Dale just to know what forged us.
Who wouldn't?
To know what makes Ka-Pow tick. So that would be, honestly, I would recommend it to our enemies. If the dueling ogres are out there watching Riverdale just to know what forged us.
We literally have a segment called "Yeah, You Know Me."
Yeah, but if they really want to know what makes us tick, Kevin checks in with Pickens and just wants to make sure he isn't going to hurt his friends over these library books. But Percival says, Kev, you should start worrying about returning your copy of The Lord of the Flies. Then Pickens lights some black candles and starts chanting some Latin phrases.
Quare objecta de mysteria tua, ex libris ad frequenta venistis.
If you want to drop any of those in here. And we finally get the Riverdale title card 13 minutes into the show. That was usually they're in there a little earlier with it.
That's gotta be close to a record right there.
Yeah, that's pretty far.
Yeah.
At RROTC, the boys have an old yearbook where Archie was playing guitar and singing.
I just realized the sweatshirts say Riverdale RROTC. So doesn't the extra R stand for Riverdale?
Oh, yeah. It's like an ATM machine.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
So they're making fun of his old yearbook like he looks any different in it. It was just laying there in the lunchroom, and they think it's fun. Archie says, well, that was like 1 million years ago, so put it away. It's not for class. And Mantle Motors...
They were laughing like, you did music, Sarge?
Yeah.
What it's hilarious that he did... It's like, Archie's like, oh, yeah, I did used to do music.
Yeah.
And boxing and
construction. He's having to deal with why did he quit the music? Yeah. He's going to figure it out. At Mantle Motors, Reggie is playing cards, and suddenly he can't see the numbers or suits anymore. He gets a comic book out of his desk with a Batman-looking figure on it, and the words are all jumbled up, which was weird. It was like... I tried to study them, like, see if it was saying anything. It didn't say anything. It was like, well, Hallie, Scrooge. I was like, yeah, I can't read it either. The FBI... TBK, that'd be like the TBK killer. You say that's it's the TBK. Likely a loner, they decide. And when she smells bleach, she sees her dad. But it's not Hal, it's the janitor. Mm-hmm. It wasn't Svensson either. It was just some guy.
I thought the mop was making a comeback.
Oh, I wish.
I missed the mop. That was a good season.
Yeah.
The mop, That was great. The whole theory, yeah, that was good. Missed the mop for sure. Wow. Veronica swats a fly.
My daddy. I got mop daddy.
Yeah. Jug's fingers are bleeding for some reason, which I already forgot. He's having the metamorphosis is what he's doing.
Yeah, his grandfather had eczema really bad on his hands or something.
Right.
Yeah, there's some, I don't know. There was some comment about that. It was happening to him too.
Yeah. He's turning into a fly. Betty visits Pickens, and he has bleach and talks about smell unlocking memories or whatever. And then we have Cheryl hearing giggling upstairs. And is it Heather under the covers, we wonder? Pull the sheet off, and it's roses. Flowers in the attic, indeed.
So
Archie here's
what? Let's go back. Are we to assume that Betty hasn't smelled bleach since she was like 5?
I think everyone's hyper.
Combined with all the other weirdness going on.
Yeah. Like Archie hears a cello and sees zombie Grundy.
Oh yeah. Wow.
We see Perkins there. Reggie goes to Needful Things or whatever that place is called. He needs his dyslexia book back. Instead, what does he give him?
Glamour's egg.
The most desirable object you can get.
And makes him take it to Veronica. And at the Andrews house, Betty tells Archie about the bleach. She read this mechanic book as a kid and then went to the garage and caught her dad cleaning the car with bleach. So it's a core memory. Jug goes to Sketch Alley. He talks to Hank in a wheelchair. Tells him about Pickens, telling them all to walk to the ocean. But he couldn't go because he can't walk.
Because he's in a wheelchair.
It's the only way he's still in Sketch Alley. But he does have a number for a payphone in Venice Beach, California. And he might call it, see if he can get a hold of Doc. Which sounds like the best plan we could have at this point. Veronica got a package from Reggie through Smithers. We got a little Smithers action.
I was glad to see Smithers.
Yeah. We don't get enough Smithers. It's the egg. Smithers is going to try to find her book, Kiss the Spider Woman, on the Strand in New York. She imagines spiders coming out of the egg. That's why it's over there to mess with her. Moose returns Lord of the Flies to Kev and admits that he was in lust with Ralph. Kevin was too, the character from the book. But identified more with
Piggy.
Once a piggy, always a piggy.
And all I could think of that screenshot I've been saving of that one guy saying, "What that piggy want?" It's the guy who gets crushed by a boulder because Kevin was also husky as a kid. Remember when husky was the size of pants?
Yeah.
They
were usually corduroy pants.
Yeah. It's huskies. Huskies up. I had a dog that was a husky. Husky isn't used enough now. I'm glad Riverdale brought it back.
I'm glad it's retired. I feel Kevin's trauma.
This is now every time you smell corduroys, every time you hear corduroys,
I hear corduroys rubbing together. I'm right back in the husky department of J.C. Penney's with my mom trying to flag down the lady.
Oh, you have an extra husky. I've told you guys before, we got our Christmas. My grandma worked at JCPenney in the children's department. So when we got our family pictures taken at JCPenney's, she would just dress us all with the clothes off the rack. We had to wear them just for the picture and take them all back off. Go home in our normie clothes.
Wow.
Really cool sweaters on and stuff for the pictures. Um. Oh my gosh. Are we at Thornhill or Thistle House? I can't remember anymore.
Thornhill.
I don't know the
think it's-
difference anymore.
I think it's Thornhill.
Yeah. They rebuilt Thornhill.
Yeah. Jug's hands are disfigured from eczema, and he's afraid that he's going to die alone like that. Cheryl says Pickens is using their totems against them. Either we find the books in exchange for our totems, or we have to face our fears.
I'm starting to think this wasn't about library books at all.
What? Archie breaks into the curiosity shop for a hilarious prank. He sees a note on a cello that his guitar isn't there, but he can take the cello. Of course, okay. At Sketch Alley, Hank found out, he called the payphone, found out that the dude sold Jughead's book, Kafka's Metamorphosis, for those following, at Barney's Book Barn, right off Route 42 in Allentown. So I believe it's in Pennsylvania. Is that?
Mm-hmm.
RROTC, those boys are now making fun of him because they see his music teacher was hot back in the day.
Boy, they don't know the half of it.
Exactly.
Ha ha, teach, you were sexually assaulted. Ha ha.
Ha ha. Yeah. He threatened to kick one kid out. He goes in his office and smashes the cello into pieces because he's very violent. And as he remembers Grundy taking advantage of him. Yeah. It's terrible.
Couldn't help but think of Weezer at that point. The redhead said you shred the cello, and I'm Jello, baby. And now I realize it also applies to Betty. I went to your room and read your diary. I need to investigate this further.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like this whole song.
It's proves time travel.
Yeah, El Scorcho was written about Riverdale.
Yeah. That's who that's Archie is El Scorcho.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I think we found a title for this episode.
Oh my gosh. Holy mackerel. You blew my mind. I'm a big Weezer fan. Kevin returns Lord of the Flies, and Percival tells him not to feel like Piggy, and that he should join with him, and that he's hot, and they kiss. Okay, so we probably could have seen that coming, but I did not. At Archie's, comes in. Okay, Betty comes in. Betty? No. Who comes in with the hard sunglasses? She does, yeah. Betty comes in. She's got the hard sunglasses like Grundy used to wear, and it triggers him.
He freaks
out. That's like is that like the pilot episode?
Yeah.
Grundy in the car with the glasses on?
Yeah.
The Lolita glasses?
Yep. Maybe that's why he doesn't play music anymore, because of that. Meanwhile, Veronica bangs Geraldo, as predicted. When she wakes up the next morning.
Is that making your bones?
She wakes up in the morning and he's dead from the kiss of the Spider Woman. His tongue is black. She calls Reggie and says she got his gift and that he's an idiot. She thinks he gave her the Black Widow spiders. He asked what Geraldo was doing in her apartment, and she says, "You know exactly what he was doing." As if, it was just it's hilarious. You know exactly what was you predicted this. Just like she doesn't even want to admit to it, but don't come at me asking like you don't know. Kevin says, "I sent you the egg, but I didn't send you spiders, you crazy lady. Maybe you imagined." She's like, "Well, I sure didn't imagine the corpse of the guy, Geraldo." And Betty's bestie, Dr. Curl Jr., just carted it out of here. Where did you even get that gouche egg? At the curiosity shop. You fool. At the FBI.
You fool. That was my favorite line. That line reading. She's like, "You fool." We've all wanted to yell that at Reggie, but he didn't deserve it this time.
Oh. The FBI, Kathleen, says that Kathleen, I don't, we're just supposed to know her.
This is, Kathleen was, yeah. She's into Betty.
What'd she ever do?
She likes Betty.
Does she have a history? She says that the BTK always left the light on for her. Betty remembers her dad leaving the light on for her for monsters, and he tells her not to be afraid of the monsters because she and him are scarier than any monster.
Motel 6 will also leave the light on for you.
That's true. That's true. See, there's another thing we missed. Jimmy, who does this commercial? Jimmy Dean or something? Or what's the guy's? Isn't it him? Does he sell sausage and do the?
Yeah.
Motel 6.
Gosh. No, Tom Bodette.
Tom Bodette. Tom Bodette. We'll leave the light on for. I'm Tom Bodette.
Yep.
Tom Bodette. TB. Killer. Tom Bodette killer. And El Scorcho. So Betty figures out the great twist that the trash bag killer is the father of a daughter because he leaves the light on. That'll really narrow it down, Betty. Reggie goes to the curiosity shop and asks Percival if he is a wizard. Says, I'm a magic man.
And Reggie's ready to switch teams right there. Reggie doesn't need to be mind controlled. He's like, I'm in. I want to be a wizard.
Yeah. Teach me, he says. Teach me. Jughead found good editions of the books at that book barn.
I feel like we needed more. What was this?
Yeah.
What was it? Some magical place or just
Barney's
a really good
Book Barn on Route 42 in Allentown.
They got everything. That was the answer.
Is
they
that
got
a real
everything.
store? Did you?
Oh, you know it is. You know it's a real store.
Yeah. Was this product placement? Did they finally did the Doritos and Subway contract run out, and now we're dealing with Barney's Book Barn, Route 42, Allentown, Pennsylvania?
We're a long way from season 1 Maybelline.
Could we have sponsored Riverdale?
Oh my god! I typed in Barney's Book Barn in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Auto-filled.
I bet.
I had no doubt.
Yellow Pages Book Barn in Allentown, Pennsylvania, with 3 reviews.
3 reviews to what
No,
it would
wait.
say.
Page 3. Baldwin's Book Barn.
Oh, this is Barney.
Rare, used, and out of print antiquarian books.
Oh, antiquarian. That's something that did Cheryl leave that review? Oh my. Anyway, Jughead found good additions there, and Cheryl says, "Bravo, nerd." Who knew your bookish ways would one day save us? So, if you're following the mechanics of this, now they just have to return the books for the items. Archie says if he doesn't give them to us, we will just burn down his store with him in it. Oh, it's okay. Well, if you were going to do that, why go get these books? Just could have just done that. Veronica doesn't even really want her dad's picture. Cheryl says they need the items because they have to perform a ritual with them, and they're not going to like it. Okay, so I guess they didn't have Kiss the Spider Woman. So Ronnie says, keep my dad's picture. No one controls me. They put the items in the fireplace at Cheryl's, which I thought they were a little lackadaisical there with what items. Like Cheryl's like, we got to have them all, but they don't, and nobody really cares. They're just what they have, they're going to burn. Except for Jason, because she already burnt him before. We don't need to burn Jason again. So Jughead gets his grandpa's...
Den of Geek is all over this.
Oh, okay. Really? What'd they say?
Den of Geek. Hold on. Alas, there is no Barney's Book Barn in Allentown, Pennsylvania. However, there is a Baldwin's Book Barn in Westchester, Pennsylvania. Coincidence or homage? And it's got like a dozen... Oh, they're right on it. Riverdale finally fleetingly addresses how problematic the Miss Grundy storyline was. Kevin Keller continues to circle the drain as a character. Veronica casually referring to Dr. Curdle Jr. as Betty's bestie is the funniest dialogue of this episode.
Oh, we'll see.
Jughead was an homage to The Fly from 1986.
Yeah.
Oh no, Archie's totally going to begin singing again, isn't he?
Oh. Jughead gets his grandpa's book out and said he can't do it. He can't burn it. So no, not really. They're not hardly burning anything. And he said, what would Ray Bradbury say if he burn it? Cheryl says you're all cuckoo bananas, but whatevs, and she burns the rest of the stuff.
Again, another thing that was crucial. To
none of it.
Do to break the spell, we must do this unless you don't want to. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, totally fine. Jughead narrates, dubs, that Percival has added 2 more allies to his list. Now he has recruited Kevin and Reggie to go along with who? Any guesses?
Alice and
Alice
Fred.
Cooper.
And Uncle Frank.
Uncle
Tom
Frank.
Keller.
Tom Keller. There you go.
Yeah. We got it.
Dr. Curdle Jr. calls Veronica with the autopsy report and says that Geraldo did die of a Black Widow spider venom, but that usually isn't enough to kill a man. She says maybe it was a bunch of spiders. He says there was no puncture wounds, but he does know how the venom got in. His lips.
Yes.
His death was sealed with a kiss. Riverdale. Da, da, da. So that was a good episode. I really enjoyed that.
So wait, has Veronica had a superpower this season?
No, not until
this
now.
May be it.
So this is her. Is this her? She's a spider lady.
Yeah.
I guess she is. She's a spider lady. I dug this because it made no sense. By the end, they didn't do anything.
That's a perfect episode.
Exactly. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah. We continue on. I mean, Percival is he has proven himself to beat them over and over and over.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like
He's basically invincible, and now he's got Kev. Now he's sleeping with Kev, and
Yeah, it took the Ram 6 seasons to fail miserably at, and Percival's just waltzed in here.
yeah. Well, we had to have a powerful bad guy here at the end. If it's not Thrawn, we might as well take
Grand Admiral Pickens.
yeah, the statue in the park.
All right, that's one more Dale down.
Oh, and it was good. It was
to the end.
It's a full meal. I enjoyed it. Can't wait till next time. We're counting them down. We're down to the last 30 episodes here, so enjoy.
How stupid is it? I can't talk about it. I gotta sing about it and make a podcast. How stupid is it? Won't you give me a minute? Just come up to me and become a patron to KPP. With apologies to Weezer. My name is Jordan Lowe.
Cliff Barnes.
I'm El Scorcho. Bye forever.
What are you, a wizard?
Teach me. Teach me your ways.
Ka-Pow, the pop cultured podcast, is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Sounds, music, and clips played during the podcast are property of copyright holders. All original content is property of www.udownwithkpp.com. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and leave a comment. Ka-Pow, the pop cultured podcast, can be found on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, and wherever podcasts can be found. You can connect with us through social media on Facebook, YouTube, at the Ka-Pow Podcast on Twitter, or email the show, Ka-Pow, the pop cultured podcast, @gmail.com. If you really want to go the extra mile, join our Patreon at patreon.com/YouDownWithKPP for special content and access to Patreon-only benefits. We are grateful for anyone who chooses to contribute, but please know that most of our content will remain free. So please continue to like, comment, and share.